So, my name is Amanda, and I'm an addict in recovery since 2015. It's my granddaughter. She's squealing. She wants all the attention taken to her. There she goes again. Anyway, I'm trying to start talking more about addiction and what recovery is to me, because not everyone's recovery is the same, right? Well, for me, my addiction started when I was probably after I left my husband, 2003, when my grandma passed away. I started just with a little bit here, a little bit there with, well, I didn't know what it was at the time. It was just some stuff that friends of mine were using, and it was meth. I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, okay. I was almost 200 pounds when I left my husband. So I started losing weight. It's like, oh, cool, this helped me lose weight. But I didn't stay addicted to it. I stopped, got a job, took care of myself and 3 kids, did what I had to do to function in life without a husband. I did that for a couple of years. Then I left the small town that my mom was living in and went back to the bigger town up one city over. And I was with some friends one night and we left the bar, and I was like, she's like, hey, let's try this. It's like, what is this? It was crack. So I was like, okay. I did crack for 10 years and no one had a clue that I was even doing crack. No one had a clue. No one knew. No one had any idea that I was doing anything other than drinking with my friends on the weekends. My mom was an alcoholic, so I knew my alcohol intake. I knew when to stop. I knew how much to drink. Because I wasn't going to be an alcoholic. I just knew. And stop. My mom drank up until I was 13. I chose not to be an alcoholic, but I didn't choose to be an addict to drugs, because I didn't know that drugs would be an addiction. Serenity. I was wrong. Boy, was I wrong. DHS got called on me. Oh, and I couldn't pass a drug test. So they took my kids. I went and got help. Got my kids back within a month. And I stayed clean. I stayed clean, didn't touch it again. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. My kids were more important. That was like in 2009. Hey. So I went and got a job, did what I had to do, took care of my kids. This is really hard. You better stop. Well then, a girl I met in rehab decided she was gonna, hey, let's try this. She was already doing it. So I said, okay. Tried it. Okay, it was just a weekend thing. We did it on the weekends. I did it on the weekends. Then it turned into I had to have more, had to have more, had to have more. Well, when I was using crack, they called me what was a functional addict. Because I had a job, took care of my kids, and no one knew I was using it. But this drug just took me out there. It just took me out there. Within 9 months, I was wearing a size 0. Didn't have a job. My car was broke down. By the time the 9 months was over with, my kids were different parts of the city. My youngest son was in DHS custody. My father passed away. By the end of the year, I was in rehab again. But I tell you what, when I got out of rehab, I may have touched it once or twice, and I realized I didn't want to be there. Quit on my own, and I've been clean ever since then. That right there, she's one of the reasons why I've chose to stay clean for so long. Just one. That's just one of the reasons. There's another one on the way. She has an older brother. He's almost 8. I've been clean since he was a baby. Those are my reasons. And I've got the respect of my children. I mean, that's just some of it. Well, I'm going to tell you what, it hasn't been an easy journey getting to where I am now. I've been homeless while being clean. I've had no vehicle and had to walk everywhere I go while being clean. It's just not been one of those easy things. But I never gave up. I love that little girl so much. I love my daughter. I love my sons. I love myself. Anyway, that's just a little brief backstory as to how I became an addict. Addiction runs in my family. And I just thought that I didn't want to be a drunk. But I realized that I didn't have to drink to be an addict. Even though I never saw drugs around me, addiction is in all forms. Heroin, I never did that, thank God. Meth. Crack. Cocaine. I mean, there's all kinds of drugs out there. And if I can get clean, I know someone will see this video and see that it was not an easy task for me to do it. If I can get clean, by the grace of God, you can get clean. I have worked so many different jobs while being in recovery. My first job after getting clean was a fast food restaurant, which I said I would never do, ever. I would never ever work in fast food. But tell you what, you want that money, you'll work whatever is available at that time. And I did. I worked Subway too for a while. Subway was better than working at a fast food restaurant, I'll tell you that. Working with grease. But people that you interact with while working at a fast food restaurant was pretty interesting. I've always worked at a department store, hanging clothes up, or making sure the tables were clear and folded correctly, and never really interacted with the customers all that much. I didn't work the register because I didn't think that I was good enough to work the registers. It's kind of like high school, you know. If you're not pretty enough or smart enough in their book, you didn't get to work the register. Well, tell you what, every job I've had since then, I've been working nothing but registers. Well, not all the time. I mean, somebody trusts me with their money. I've even been a manager at a couple places. Manager, meaning I work with money. Anyway, I don't have any viewers. I can't go live yet on YouTube. So I'm hoping that the more I make videos and post them, one day I'll be able to go live. So until then, please leave me comments or whatever and let me know what you think. I'm in the Walmart parking lot. See, waiting on my daughter to come out with her groceries while I'm with my granddaughter. And I figured, why not do an intro video, see how this goes, and do videos each day after that, and we'll just see. I don't know what I'm doing, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, this is September 2nd, 2022. Everybody have a good day.